Alrighty, so we're going to start a new unit, and we're going to start with solving proportions. So the good news is we've been solving for a hot minute. So this is just a different way to solve equations, pretty much. This is, first of all, you're going to be solving two ratios. So a proportion is just setting up two ratios equal to each other. Now, remember, ratio is just a fancy term or a fancy word for fractions. Okay, so that's basically what we're doing. So there's a couple different ways that you can solve a proportion. Let's start off with this. So 1/2 equals 5 over C. I don't know, whatever. All right, so you could say to yourself, sometimes they're nice and easy, and you can just kind of look at them and say, okay, well, I know 1 times 5 is 5. So 2 times 5 is 10, therefore C equals 10. And so those are nice. But they're usually going to be more complicated. So let's take the same one. In general, just get in a habit of cross multiplying. Okay, so I'll say where your butterfly's at. So you need to cross multiply, which means we're going to take both sides, so across diagonals, and we're going to multiply them. So this would be 1 times C equals 2 times 5. So 1 times C is just C. 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. Let's start with some examples. So are the ratios proportional? Once again, I don't know any number that's 4 times whatever is 10, or at least any whole number. So what you need to do is just go ahead and cross multiply. So this is 5 times 10, and then over here we have 4 times 25. 5 times 10 is 50. 4 times 25 is 100. Remember, 4 quarters. 50 never equals 100. Therefore, they are not proportional. Okay? Let's try this one. So we start by cross multiplying. 7 times 9. 3 times 21. So 7 times 9 is 63. 3 times 21 is 63. 63 always equals 63, so yes, they are proportional. And then, of course, you can always use your calculator on this, okay? Anything solving, we always get to use our calculator. All right, so let's get down to the solving then. All right, so let's go ahead and start. 3 times 4 is equal to 2 times m. So 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times m is 2m. Now remember, 2 and m are melded together, so we need to divide them apart. I want m by itself, so I need to divide by that coefficient, which is 2. So those cancel, bring down your m, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. Now, sometimes people ask me, well, Miss Beck, I went this way first and said 2 times m is 2m, and 4 times 3 is 12, and then I divided by 2, I got the same answer. Well, yeah, absolutely. So it doesn't matter which diagonal you do first, you're going to come out with the same answer. All right, find the missing variable. It's the same thing as saying, hey, solve. Okay, so 3 times a negative 12 equals 9 times t. So 3 times negative 12 is negative 36. 9 times t is 9t. Now we divide both sides by 9. Those go away. T, oops, I was trying to put the t and the equals together. T equals negative 4, which remember is the same thing as t equals negative 4, like that. Cool? All right, let's go ahead. So remember, if we have a negative out front, okay, we just want to go ahead and put it to the top. Now, don't be lazy. Go ahead and rewrite it. So this is negative 1 over 2 equals c over 8. Now we can go ahead and start cross multiplying. 2 times c equals negative 1 times 8. 2 times c is 2c. Negative 1 times 8 is negative 8. Divide both sides by 2, giving me c equals negative 4. And I know some of you are like, yeah, to this step, but go ahead and do it until you're getting them all and you're like, you feel confident. Is that it? What? All right, let's do one more. Example number 6. 3.4 over negative 5.1 equals 8.6 over a negative n. Okay? If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm grabbing a calculator right now because I'm good at math, but I can't be doing decimals up in my head. All right, so we start by cross multiplying. Don't stress out because of these numbers. So negative 5.1 times 8.6 equals 3.4 times a negative n. Okay, so in my calculator, negative 5.1 times 8.6 equals a negative 43.86. And then negative n times 3.4 is a negative 3.4n. And that's because, remember, guys, the coefficient is 1 if it's not there. And then we would divide both sides by a negative 3.4. N equals, first of all, a negative and a negative is a positive, and then 43.86 divided by 3.4 is 12.9. And on your practice problems, I have you rounding them all off to the nearest tenth, which remember is just the first decimal place. Okay?